Welcome back, and of course, apologies for the delays. Wanted to get everything right. We do not want to mess around with these players. This is, of course, the winner bracket finals. This is the big one. This is the two teams who won their first games of today, and they get put into this position. This is a big matchup here.
Yeah, and not to mention they get a little extra rest if they get this win. They don't have to play a game tomorrow morning. Jet lag definitely playing a factor for these guys.
It really does.
So getting that little extra rest is going to be actually pretty important. So I imagine they're probably gunning pretty hard for this W.
Absolutely, and there is some rivalry between these two, both of them performing incredibly well in their opening matches, both showing some real strength, but we need to see how it lines up. I remember talking to these guys saying, how do you compare to them? And it's that rock, paper, scissors format. We're good against one team, but the others, sometimes we can struggle. But it's Globochem up against Mob Squad. You guys know it by now, I don't need to tell you about it, but let's get this one started up, and Globochem going to be making moves.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting objective point here. Again, lots of different angles you can cap around. You actually see a really aggressive defensive approach from Mob Squad. They're getting up to that north side, and this is something they do. They want to take control of this north area of the map, because if you have control, then you have the rooftop. And the rooftop, as we've seen on Quarantine, very important.
I'm not sure, but am I right in thinking that UI is flipped?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, because Pants is meant to be on... Okay, that'll be fixed up. I was just looking like, wait, have we had some weird subs going on? That'll be fixed up. Oh, look at that. BEA, beautiful work. It's switched around. We're good to go.
Very nice.
You can't mistake where Pants is in these games. And these angles he's working with, he is a perfectionist at this.
Sounds like South Wing.
Yeah, this isn't a position you expect out of Globochem, but Pants getting punished for being so aggressively pushed up there. I'm not sure who tagged him.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Plots down there from down below by the wall.
It looks like he was confused. It looked like Thunder had his flank. He thought he maybe had that angle, but it looks like Plots is actually going to be applying a bit more pressure there too.
Yeah, the picks come in here if you can slip between those angles, if you know which angles they're holding. Plots with a lot of shots coming out, some suppressive fire, radioing in that location. Very important. You actually see Squigukin pushing up into the middle there. He's getting real close to the objective. Poopachu about to trade with Thunder. This could get a little hairy. Squigukin about to toss a flash. Trades all across the map. Poopachu and Thunder shots fired. Squigukin's going to be pushing up to that center area shortly.
Effective trading for Mob Squad so far. They are sitting with the advantage player-wise, 4v3, but Globochem still plays in great positioning. Keep in mind, of course, Mob Squad will be the one to kind of make the moves here as such. They still need to be the ones getting towards the objective, trying to get that final push through. But I mean, they're looking pretty good at this thus far.
Yeah, this Globochem defense did not pay out for them. They are all down on that north side now, and that totally leaves up the roof control for Mob Squad. They can do this with 4 alive right now. This is really not looking good for Globochem. I expect a lot of suppressive fire, maybe a cap, but Toast in a spot that he's not going to let himself get capped on.
Well, let's see what Toast can do. This guy, he's good at it, don't get me wrong. This guy has talent, but I don't know how much he can achieve off the back of this one. I was talking to Pants about this player and how, what he does for this team, and he's a quiet man. He's very stoic in nature. He's not going to be giving you all the comms, but he has got firepower to him. But he's got a lot of players against him. He's got 3 to be precise. And the suppressing fire is coming in thick and fast. Toast back to the wall gaming here.
I expect some nades to start coming out towards Toast. He's going to be hugging that wall, making sure none of them hit him. Bunch of smokes coming out. Mob Squad are going to want this cap. They have this is one where you're feeling really good. You probably have your confirmed kills, and they're just going to take an easy 1 point.
Yeah, that's a good beginning. And to be fair, if you look at it this way, I don't know which way you want to read into it. Again, different teams benefit from different things. Do you want to be coming in hot off that last matchup? So you win the last game, you're Mob Squad. You just want a matchup. You've been playing, you're feeling good about it, and then you're straight into that next matchup. You're feeling hot still. Whereas Globochem have had a long break from that first game in the morning.
They've been watching to kind of go against the maybe advantage of being loose. Globochem have been watching Mob Squad. They've been trying to pick up what kind of kits are they running? What loadouts do they have? How are they pushing? What sort of smokes are they throwing out there? So I don't know. I guess the advantage could swing either way. I think what I'm surprised to see right here is actually the Marsoc getting an early dub. That's something you don't see very often, especially on Quarantine. The Volk advantage rings loud and true. So we'll see if they can answer back. The objectives will be mirrored, so Globochem can be pushing the similar objective just as hard.
It's a bit of a statement to make as well. If you're coming into this one and the lesser favorable side picks up that first round, that puts you on notice.
Yeah.
That's okay, we need to really, speed up, get a little hot in this one. Globochem We know they can. They are, again, tipped to be one of the very best teams out there. Some very talented players, but Mob Squad have proven that they put up a good performance, and it's split on the desk out there too. But where do you sit on this? Who do you think's got the advantage here?
With the map picks being Quarantine and Suburbia, I'm leaning toward, for the first two, Cargo with our remainder. I'm leaning towards Globochem coming away with this W. I think I don't think they're going to roll over on Quarantine here. And if they can get this one, I don't know. Globochem's a very strong and persistent team. They do not lose. They do not give up their angles. They'll hold them for an entire 6 minutes if that's what their plan calls for. They're very diligent. So we'll see what happens. I think Globochem may be waking up a little bit after that last round.
Yeah, it is a wake-up call. You might have been sat there and you're seeing them kind of writing right now, or it looks like drawing. This is what we were theorizing before, is what were they doing in this longer break? Because you highlighted normally online you'd have quick games. They'd be right in there, no messing around. But you can see them theory crafting on maps. You can see it kind of on the program screens we've got there on the stage.
Yeah, it's really cool to see this getting used. It's been a necessity into this game, and I'm so glad that it's getting utilized at such a high competitive level. You know, it's a lot of people may see the board and not instantly realize the value it has to your team and to really becoming a cohesive team. I'd love to see more use of it in pub matches.
Well, I mean as well, keep in mind, if you aren't intrinsic to this game, if you don't play it all the time, if it's the first time you're viewing this, there's no map in-game, or mini-map, should I say, that's constantly on your screen. There's no timer in-game that's constantly on the screen. These are things you can access, but it might be a watch that you have to look at on your wrist. Or it's, again, the tablet you pull out and you look at that has maps that also has a time on it. So, I mean, they do have the option, but it's not as easy as you'd imagine. So this really does switch things up, but of course, first round still sits, regardless, with Mob Squad coming out looking pretty dominant so far.
Yeah, and I imagine Globo are going to try and take this north side. It seems like they're pushing a lot of guys up to this west half, and they're going to come up that west lane here, go all the way north, and I think they're answering what they think Mob Squad's going to do, and we're going to have a 3v2, a 3v3 clash on this north side pretty shortly, because they're going to get up to that rooftop, and it's going to be, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see who prevails.
I want to see if Arsenic gets a bit of a glimpse on this as well. He might be the first port of contact. I'm not sure which lines he'd have here, really. It could be split between the other players as well, considering contact made Pants there.
So that gives away the spawn, too. So now they know that they had a similar spawn to Mob Squad. And you kind of act accordingly. A nice defensive spread, but I think they might just think Pants is there. I wouldn't suspect a whole squad of 3 over there.
No, we'll see if he can maybe keep attention more. If he can get a kill, or maybe a couple more shots, get a bit of contact, get a bit of attention his way, that plays it really well to make the assumption it's only one man. Now, Poopshoot is going to be a little look towards it, and he might be able to see there just over the defilade. Grenades coming in, a couple of calls being made here as well.
So close. If he just pops up over that hill a little bit more, if he stands up, he can see 2 right here. The 2 pushing him very aggressively. This could be an unfortunate situation for Poop. If this gets taken by Pants, it leads that whole top half for Marsoc. But no, Jizzy Pants down.
It's a big pickup. 2 kills coming in. Massive angle being held. And you saw him kind of dancing on it. They only saw 1 player, but under the assumption there may be more, the call was made. And it looks like Mob Squad again holding on to this one. Globochem unable to make the most of this just as of yet, and really struggling to stamp their authority into this matchup, as they are left with 3 players who are on kind of more sporadic split out positions throughout the map, maybe holding angles to ensure that no flanks was going to be coming behind the other squad, but a little bit of alleviation to the pressure. 1 man does get at least knocked out for Mob Squad.
Yeah, Globochem not playing too strong right now. Mob Squad very dominant on this quarantine map. Poopachu taking command of that rooftop area. It's going to allow him to completely cover any crossing that Thunder Pilot's going to have to do here. It's going to be really hard for him to get across. He's going to need smokes, but unless he has 2 or 3, he's not going to be able to cover his tracks.
Making a couple of calls there. Not sure what he can really relay or discuss at this point. A very tricky situation. 3 minutes and 28 seconds, so it's viable.
Yeah, and they have 1 member very far south. I'm kind of curious what his plan is. If he decides to wrap all the way around the east side, he could flank this team here and really throw him off, but he's going to drop back to this plane wing. This is a very... No, he actually messed up his grenade. This is something you can never do, so it's kind of cool to see it, but Otto throwing the smoke grenade behind him unintentionally, then going back, picking it up, relocating that smoke so it's where he wants it on the corner.
That's fantastic. A bit of an adjustment. Not obviously ideal for him, but being able to spectate it, always good. Now, Arsene, but not being able to see the cross here, but you can see the information will be relayed. Pupushu has a great angle on this rooftop. Whether or not he sees the player completely, it's enough for a call, at least I can imagine, and the suppressing fire certainly going to give away a bit of the game, and Mob Squad now knows at least where one of the possible 2 remaining players are. Of course, again, a reminder for those at home who don't know this game inside out, there is no UI telling you how many opponents are left alive, so unless you're keeping good count, which you can be, I'm not saying it's too difficult, but it's very easy to forget if you don't have those comms completely on point.
Yeah, it's you have to be radioing in as soon as you down a target. I have one down, and a lot of teams will go 4v5. They'll radio in how many they know are alive on your own team as well, because you can lose. Oh, I didn't know I had my entire flank gone. I wasn't paying attention to the map. And this is actually the flank from Otto. He's managed to wrap all the way around. He might get Plotz in the back.
I don't know if Plotz is aware of this possibility. It looks like he's still kind of considering this angle. He's got eyes on it. Auto moving up. Does get spotted on the cross. Great pickup from Plotz.
Really
got
nice
1-1 left. You just heard the call come in from him. So they know it's down to Thunderpilot, and he can't make a step without being seen. Mob Squad doubling down here.
Wow, they are playing fantastically. You can hear that communication very on point. These guys radioing in everything they see, and once you know, I mean, they knew there was only one left. They had their kill count right, and with that kind of confidence, you can push out a little bit, and they managed to catch that last kill, securing him a nice dub. Up 2-0 now.
Big lead coming in. This is, you know, it's not the 1st to 13, it's not 1st to 16. It's a pretty low threshold to hit. Obviously, 1st to 4. I mean, you can't make mistakes at this point.
Yeah, it's playing out so fast. For a quarantine map, I'm surprised these guys aren't playing slower. Considering there's money on the line here, I'm surprised they're not playing a little bit more conservative. But Globochem don't necessarily roll over. So now they're on Volk. They have that Volk defense advantage. They can take use of that. And I'm sure they're getting a little motivational speech from Thunder or Otto right now to kind of get them refocused. I don't know if I've seen Globochem actually lose 4-0.
That would be huge if that happened.
Yeah, I think that would throw them for a loop with the next map as well, because I don't know if Globochem works well off of losses, because you
don't often see them in that position.
It doesn't happen often. It's such a rarity. So it could be exciting. It could be it's Mob Squad's game right now to lose, in my opinion.
I completely agree. It won't be easy. Let's see if there's any opening calls.
Is it the same objective? Northwest. No, it's far east. Far east.
I go northwest. There's a way around there.
Okay, they're smoking the south road. They're trying to cross.
Alright, let's get like 3 guys doing a firing squad.
All right, 3 guys firing squad. They've already made the calls off the back of those smokes that you did say earlier. They do give away a bit of the game here, and you can see the suppressing shots coming through already.
Yeah, they as soon as that smoke came out and those extra shots rang down on Globochem, they decided, this defensive position isn't that important. We don't need to risk one here. But what I do like seeing is defensive smokes. That's a really cool feature that you don't see too often from teams, but I think it could be used a lot more to Volk advantage.
Get themselves situated. Did you get to see that tablet in action?
Yeah, we're probably going to have a few minutes of downtime the way Mob Squad's playing this one. They're going to take their time to get up through that center of the map there. As once you get behind that main building in the middle, you have all sorts of options. You can rotate around left, right, kind of converge on the objective, toss some smokes, get close enough for some smokes. And they're going to want to have sort of a pinching formation. They're going to put one north, one south, and they're going to try and move in at the same time, kind of to go off what the analyst Des was saying earlier, talking about how these guys like to converge on the objective. They don't like to... Picks are not something you see happen often.
Wondering when that happens, what the kind of, I guess, signaling moments are if they get that entry pick, if they just get good ground gained. Plenty of opportune moments. It's just, you know, you can see them being quite meticulous in approach for Mob Squad. That northwestern side, 2 players kind of pushing their way forward a little further. You're quite cautious. Of course, you don't know exactly where the other side is.
Yeah.
But again, in your mind, you're working it out. You know where that objective point is. That was discussed at the start. You heard that too. So these guys just holding down the angles. If you're Globochem, patience is being tested here.
Yeah, and your legs. You see a lot of these guys crouching on one knee or not even. They're just on their haunches. That gets tiring if you're holding an angle for 5 minutes. So we'll see if these guys start to get a little antsy, start moving around a little bit, looking for something, trying to make something happen.
Raphael there, having a little bit of a wander. Again, though, we are seeing Mob Squad squeaking their way forward on the northern side.
This is what I would say is more characteristic of Mob Squad. They're a bit slower paced. I guess they have both play styles. You can kind of see them play hard and fast sometimes, but then they also have this other method of attacking the objective, going nice and slow and methodical.
Well, we'll see if Arsenic can find anything. A couple of shots went out early. I'm not sure if he saw someone or if it was just maybe a predicted angle he'd been expecting. Could be a factor, but Plots as well, working his way forward. Got to be a little bit careful now. You're kind of getting across that no man's land in towards the other side sites. They're going to start locking this one down. You can hear the further fire coming in from behind Plots, but he's not stopping. He just wants to get a little further forward.
Yeah, this is kind of the gambling situation that you play when you're on Marsoc. You try and thread the needle between sight lines, and Plots is in an interesting spot. He's managed to get in between pretty much the entire Globochem team. If he keeps making a prone push up that north road, he might have a shot at getting relatively close to the objective without being spotted, but he's going to look for Pants over there in the back with some suppressive shots towards the rock. That's a very, actually, Pants is known for being at that spot, so they're doing their research here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. These two teams must know each other pretty well by this point. You know how these players like to play. You play them enough. Plots does have a bit of a time limit on their safety. He does know that Smoke's still in position. He can work off the back of it, but once that dissipates, you are going to be a little bit open to the teams further kind of across the road to the more southern side. So you've got to be a bit careful on that, but Mob Squad are working their way forward. 2 minutes and 12 on the board, so a bit more time to play with, but they aren't that far from this. They can springboard in, but the less time you have, the trickier it is to make these hits actually count.
This North Street is such a massive gap in their defense right now. They could pretty much send the entire squad up this north road. No one would be spotted until they get up to those walls, and they would have free reign of smoking out the objective. But one getting picked for Mob Squad, Pants doing really nice to get that early pick. That's something that they needed. These guys are in really good position to attack.
Yeah, I think that might have been Plots being picked up there. It looked roughly like the angle he was trying to work from, but we'll see if Swigu can maybe get a little bit more further forward. Mob Squad are being really challenged here. This is an open avenue, and this will be relayed to the next couple of rounds if it gets that far, that this is actually viable to this point. He does get picked up as he crosses further forward. Only 2 players remain. Globochem have finally put up a wall here of a defense. No one's breaking in for now.
Yeah, they decided that we are not going to play aggressive. We're not going to try and go for any wacky picks. We're just going to hold this down. We're going to force them to come to us and get the kills that we need. Now a 1v5 situation. I don't think Poopachu has it in him, but anything is possible. If he has some smokes, maybe he can get up in there, get a couple picks, but best of luck to him on his adventures here.
Yeah, I feel for him. I don't know what he's... Oh.
And a nice nade from Globochem.
Was that his own nade?
No, I think he threw a smoke out, and that was
I really hope so.
I think that was an air burst. What you'll see a lot is the guys cooking the nades to hit the heads, and yeah, Globochem needed that W, so very nicely done, keeping the game pretty close, 2-1 now, going into a Marsoc offensive. Curious what the objective will be, since we're... Oh, it's going to be the same objective. It'll be a mirrored objective.
I want to hear those comms at the start of the round. I do like seeing that. It does look as though we are seeing, again, the drawing coming out from these teams. I wonder if the cameraman can pick up any of the players who look like they're drawing on the screen and just see if we can get a shot of what they're actually scribbling. I do hope it's nothing inappropriate like I normally draw on them. I'm wondering if that is actually what they're doing right now, because obviously there is still a discussion time before this next round starts.
Well, you know, we have some real characters in the league.
Yeah, Pants' name's an interesting one, isn't it? So, I mean, there is that.
That, and we have Poopachu.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some characters. So at your own risk, go ahead and look at that map. You might see things you don't want to see.
No, you said it now, and I don't even trust my own judgment, so fair enough. I mean, you're not wrong.
In all reality, they're probably working out some strats. I don't see any inappropriate drawings on there.
I did just see the map at the very bottom. If you look on the left there, that is, I think someone was just having a scribble on that. So hopefully they've kind of come up with a plan, because, well, Globochem kind of need it. They've been pushed by Mob Squad. That was the first time we've seen Globochem look really solid as a team. That was like the, okay, enough now.
Yeah.
That was almost, you know, But it was flawless. I'm pretty sure no one died from their side. So again, that was 5 alive, if I'm not mistaken.
Globochem will kind of feel out the enemy team, kind of see how they're going to play. Are they going to play aggressive on Quarantine? Are they going to play soft? Are they going to play hard on Marsoc or Volk? Once they kind of get that feel, they...
Let's see if we can hear the comms here.
Yeah. And nobody's going right though? Oh yeah, he is.
You gotta pick that back up.
That means yeah.
Oh my gosh, the defensive smokes. I think that's 4?
It looks like it. That's a lot invested.
Yeah, they really want to get over there. I don't think they see him too. Those are some good smokes. Obviously, you have an idea someone's over there. Why would they smoke that street and not somebody over south?
Especially 4 smokes. There's always, so in previous games, there's always the theory of the fake smoke, right? You put a smoke down in the opposite direction of where you are because people assume you're there. It's not a new theory, but again, if you put 4 to a location, that's a big investment. You don't want to kind of do that.
Yeah, Plots is in a very forward position. I don't think I see... I like this angle a lot, actually, but I've never seen it. If anyone tries to get close to the objective, they come up inside that wall on the south street, they're going to run into a hard time there. Otto being very careful because he knows, why are all the smokes there? There's got to be somebody south here. And this is going to be a while before we run into some action. Globochem going to take their time to get into position, like we were discussing earlier, and crash down on the objective at the same time.
Let's see what map control they've got for Globochem. So they do have a bit of a north presence.
Yeah, this is very nice for them to have this rooftop. They have command of that entire north area now. They can smoke, push, suppressing fire from there. It's a really key rooftop to be holding. Yeah, this is going to take a while. I don't think anything will happen till 2:30 if my understanding of how Globochem pushes is correct.
Yeah, you can see on the other side Mob Squad, of course, trying to be patient in this and just keep control of what they have. Hans is looking for information. Having a little look, see if anyone...
I want to see if I can see 5-story from here and shoot him.
And you can...
That's it. You could literally hear him saying that. So, I mean...
You can see his hand, his left hand there. That's on his radio right there. He's radioing in everything he's seeing right now. And he's looking through this little post here. He can't be shot through it, but he can see through it. So he's gathering information safely, hand dedicated to a radio, getting that information out to his entire team. Very nicely done.
So we think one did make it into 5-story, right? Oh, he's in the stairwell? Okay.
They're trying to paint that picture.
Let me see if I can shoot him. Here it goes.
See if they can work it out. Maybe Pants can try and find an angle to work with. You can hear them discussing, okay, we think one made it here. Okay, this is how we can approach it. So that's what you want to do with your time. You try and work out that puzzle, put all the pieces together, and try and start moving towards it. It looks like they are starting to kind of gear up a little bit. At least the northern side of the push might be getting themselves together. You still have that southern side as well. With these 2 players, you could possibly as well work their way around. But as you said, you're expecting a timing to this. When they actually do finally hit, all of it comes together.
Yeah, I don't expect any real pushing until another 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and you'll start seeing the smokes come out then, trying to get in position, Auto calling up for the smokes.
I'm liking the bait shots almost. You can hear Auto kind of making contact early, bit of kind of pre-fire to this, also suppressing positions. You can see those northern players starting to tender like they start towards that main road that runs right through the middle of this map, so that could be a timing piece about to come in from these 2.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to see is when you're looking at the map, some extractive shots come out and the entire enemy team shifts their arrows to look over to where those shots were. Tunnel vision is definitely a thing that happens with squads, and in this game in particular, because the communication is so hard to... You don't have active live communication unless you're a hand off your gun.
Yep. And smokes being pulled. This could set up the play. Hopefully that's a good enough smoke to allow them forward. Plays on the other side now. Mob Squad know what's going to be coming their way. At least they think they have an idea of it. I'm wondering what happens on the main street. It does look as though one of the 2 players from that northern push who are trying to come down to that main road have been found. The pressure from the south clearly not keeping Mob Squad all that distracted. They know that this might be a split hit.
Yeah, they're going to hold their ground. They're going to make sure that they don't abandon this south coverage, and that gets Plots a kill right there because he's stayed diligent through that smoke. He has another one trying to cross the street. Otto has to have some semblance he's there, but I think their own smoke's working against him.
Guy behind glass.
And so you see right there, Toast giving a heal, sticking a syringe into Pants. If you don't get the heal off, you can bleed out. So it's really important that Pants gets the heal quickly, or else he's dead.
Looks like Toast is trying to move up in the meantime. Does get found. Pants is down. Claimed, leaving it on one man. I'm pretty sure that's Toast again. He did get up towards the wall, but beyond that, not going to get a step. And it looks like Mob Squad looking solid on their defense as well.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see them performing so well. They are one of the newer teams to this league, too. They're not a team that's been around for 5 seasons like Globochem. They haven't been around for forever. To see them pull ahead with this 3-1 advantage right now is very surprising to me. It's not what I expected. We'll see if they can carry some of that momentum into this final round. They're going to be on Marsoc, so again, Globochem able to hang on with their Volk defense. But we'll see if they can do it. I think I don't know. It's so up in the air right now. My impressions of Globochem, I've seen these teams play before, but I guess every time they play, it's a very competitive match.
And as I said earlier, I was having a little talk to Pants, one of the players out there, and he even said, you know, it's getting that good start mentally really helps him. He's one of those players who's expected to do well, right? If you're one of those players who's known, you know, having a hot hand in this, being one of those kind of key fraggers who can really get the kills going when you need it, if you have a slow start, you start feeling down about yourself, you need that confidence. And if he's already being kind of punished here a couple of times, you can imagine that gets in his head. And if you're looking at the other side of things, for the Mob Squad, they're all feeling good. They're having a great performance. We've seen really good lockdowns from them. The attacking rounds going their way. I mean, I don't think you can take much away from them. You're going to need some real, I guess, grit and determination from Globochem. They need to really dig deep here.
They are capable of doing it, too. They definitely are a team that is experienced in running games back. And to be fair, any games are easy to come back in this in Onward. You can regain a series in 2 matches. Right now, Globochem wins this Volk match and then gets a cap on Marsoc. They've won the map right out from underneath Mob Squad's feet. So it could only take 2 rounds, could take 3, could take more, but they need to win this one first. This is a must-win for Globo.
If we get a game, let's see if we can hear those comms.
Guys, I'm not going to go in middle burning. I'm going to stay on the wall.
We need someone there, man.
I know, but it doesn't matter if they can't shoot it.
Let's do stuff together.
Okay, I'm staying in the windmills and waiting it out for someone to take the airplane.
Oh.
Wait it out.
That looks like a bit of range on that gun, is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, he is. He's using a 4 times, I believe. I think the 12 times a little longer.
Half of this angle to spot it out.
Yeah. He's trying to find the pick in the burning building there. It's a very common defensive position. You sit on the stairs in the center of this map where that building is on fire, and usually you get information there.
So apparently it's been confirmed by production observers. It's a nice little 12 times on Arsenic as well. So he's running it. In theory, that he's the player who'll go to it, that we might see it if we saw the right maps, but he's breaking it out here. So this could be a little bit of a pocket play. I know he might run it, but this could be a fun one if you see him cracking off shots with that bad boy. So that could be fun.
Impressive shots from Poopachu. That might give them the southeast spawn up. Maybe they'll expect this hard south push now.
Could you tell it
Information is key in this game, and these guys all know where the spawns are. So I'd expect them to react accordingly, especially Globochem. They're very good at rotating.
Well, they need to be. 3-1 currently sat against them. Do have a round in their pocket. A nice turnaround for a 2 pickup on uplink would be perfect, but it may not be possible at this point. They just need to hold on for now. As Mob Squad, of course, are the ones with the opportunity to close out here. Globochem have shown that they can hold these defenses. They can put up that wall. We saw that before, but they need to do it in this situation. It's not going to be easy either because Mob Squad have been playing a very, very diligent game.
And you know what? They played this map earlier today already,
yes.
So Mob Squad has a little extra information here. They might know that Thunder likes to sit behind that crate on the other side of this wall here, and are kind of expecting it. Or Otto, rather. You can see him in his same spot through the wall. They got to know he's there. They watched it happen last a couple rounds ago.
Pants laying down fire. Not sure if he's seen anyone at this point.
He may have spotted Arsenic, but that's a risky guy to be shooting some suppressive fire at. If he manages
that 12 times coming in, that's an easy way to get split out. I think it's up on, is it on the M16? I'm not too sure. It looks like a rifle in hand. So we're not seeing the full potential of Arsenic. We know that he can be a little bit naughty on this.
Yeah, he will run the sniper from time to time, but he's opted not to here. He
This
wants
gives
a
you a
little
nice
more.
middle ground, right? This is the non-extreme version. You can still create that opportunity with the scope. You can still get information, and that's actually huge, is that you get so much more information to kind of pass on to the others if you feel like you can.
Yeah, and another thing to note, too, is even though he's got that huge 12 times on, he's still using a mount. And so if you draw that gun up to the hip, you have some semblance of close-range combat available to you. Pants is just camping this stairwell. It's such a good stairwell to hold. You need this middle building, burning building. And you heard him say it. We need someone burning. We can't afford to give that up.
We did see one player picked up earlier. Mob Squad did lose out on one. I'm not sure how that went down. It might have been someone just stepping a little too far out. Possibly something like that, an angle being spotted there. So that's going to be a check in the back of their minds. 4 players to operate with currently as Globochem still retain the 5 and maintain position. Not looking too pressured just yet, but we've seen that these rounds can be quite late here when they go for those final hits.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes left. They have plenty of time to position themselves for smokes, get those out. They really need this Squigookin push here to throw auto off. If they converge at the same time, they have a chance of having this be a successful attempt on the objective, but it's going to require a lot of team coordination. Mob Squad are very good at that. Although losing another isn't going to help. A 3-5.
Look where that tablet is. I'm wondering if we're seeing what we were discussing now. You can put it on the floor and still use it for information to a degree. Even if it's not in your hand, you can obviously keep your gun up. If you're in a static position like this,
yeah,
that could work really well.
Yeah, that's really smart. He knows I love that new additional detail because it helps so much. You know where your team is. You can reliably understand where you're defending, and Otto's shooting some shots out towards Semper.
Semper's being held back here. He needs to get in towards this. There needs to be something coming through for him, but the players being lost elsewhere. Mob Squad are losing out on these players. They're down to only 2 left alive. They're being picked apart. Good pushes, good timing from Globochem here. They'll be able to work out and unravel Mob Squad one by one.
You can see there Otto grabbing himself a little extra grenade to go up here and defend with, and grabs himself a kill too. Really nicely done from Otto. I don't know. Yeah, he just got lucky there and peaked at the right time.
Yeah. Sometimes how it is. Timing can be everything in these games.
Yeah.
Sometimes just works your way. And sometimes it doesn't. Poopachu going to be feeling very alone, very isolated. A 1v5 is never a situation you want to be in unless you're feeling real spicy. And I mean, this is a tough one.
With Globochem holding these last 2 objectives so well on Volk, they have to be kicking themselves in the back for not winning that last Volk round as overhandedly as they are with these last 2. I mean, 5-1 for both maps. It's going to be up to Poopachu again, the one in the back.
Oh, in this angle. I think this is Pants as well. And there he is. Swings around the corner. It is Globochem trying to pull this one back. Not out of it yet. It's a 3-2 scoreline. This could be going all the way here.
Yeah, I anticipate an attempted cap from Globochem. They know where this objective is, but it's going to depend on where that spawn happens. If they can get a spawn that's actually very close to the objective and can warrant a very fast push. I expect them to play it slow. They don't want to give up any picks. They don't want to play sloppy here. This is a must-win, obviously. And honestly, if you can kill the entire team, you don't need the cap, because then you go back to your Volk defense and you've just beat them 5-1 the last 2 Volk maps.
Last couple of moments to discuss. See what they come up with here. You can see the map being, again, looked at, utilized. It's in the kind of bottom middle of your screen. Just readying themselves, considering, okay, what's the plan here? No one's going to hammer it, but just, maybe keeping themselves in check, going through the options of what they want to do this round.
Right.
And we'll make sure we listen to those comms at the start. As soon as they jump in, we want to hear what they're saying to that one. I want to hear what the plan is, guys.
Yeah, there's always a plan when you start off the map. The communication is high, and especially with Globochem, they like to lay out, I'm going to go here, 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 because they want their entire team to know exactly where they are.
Yeah, so as soon as we are in game, we'll make sure we listen out to that. And here we go. Let's see what they say. This will be Mob Squad.
I don't know. Let's just do what we normally do.
It's kind of funny. You see the difference in team cohesion there.
Yep.
Globochem being around for 5 seasons, they know how to talk to each other. They're very talkative. Mob Squad, kind of a fresher team, maybe not so open with their comms.
It's quite interesting. And just kind of doing what we normally do is what Globochem have said. So, I mean, whatever that means to them, we're going to find out, I'm sure, as they already start to begin to try and get themselves in good positions here. And
Please say again. Please say again.
looks like a couple of calls.
Okay, rudder.
Pants.
Oh no, I could have shot him. He ran on the road. He's at
He spots him on the cross, and you know he's frustrated at that. That is some excellent timing coming out. I was about to say, Pants is so talkative. He loves to communicate, and I think that's such a good thing to have in a teammate. But obviously, the downside is your hand's not on your gun.
He's not going to take a one-handed shot. And
No.
he will take 2 here. Grabbing 1, looking for a double, doesn't get it. A lot of shots coming out, just not landing. And if he holds here, gosh, I don't know why Mob Squad are moving around so much. You would think they would really want to hold down this objective very tightly, not really risk an early pick like this.
Especially this time in the round. This is very dangerous, and you can see the return fire coming back through. The duck down comes in from the other side. I'm pretty sure that was towards Pants, so you can see him responding. Dips down, plots the same. They're playing a very dangerous game here of cat and mouse, and you do not want to give anything up here. Losing out on one man, not ideal. Pick up your grenade and consider what you're going to do with that.
yeah.
He's going to probably... The unfortunate reality is, unless they have some smokes, that res is going to be insanely hard to get. It's in the middle of a street. At the same time, it is giving them some... It's not completely useless. Him being down in the middle of the street, he can sit there and freely communicate to his team, letting him know if he sees Pants try and push up over that hill, sees an approach from the west side. And I wonder if Plotz is going to try to get that res. It could be his demise if he gets out there.
You've got 2 players there. Arsenic moving up. Does he have a better scope here to play out of that building? I'm wondering. Because we saw the angle being considered with by the previous player, and he didn't quite have maybe the sight on it. He couldn't maybe find the shot. Wondering if maybe Arsenic gets up there with maybe that 12 times we were considering early. He might have dropped that one out though, so you never know what he's coming in with. And for now, we're going to be seeing them hold the line. Arsenic now up there. Let's see if we can have a little glimpse of what he's working with. We can swing that camera around.
He's got to see these guys here.
What's he got?
I think he has a normal hollow on there. He runs... He'll run the hollow from time to time if he feels like he's going to run into some close range interactions.
Yeah, that does indeed look like a hollow. I'm pretty certain. So this time dropping it out, as you said. He seems to have a very versatile approach to the game, which is good. We are seeing that western side creep coming out though. Pants and Toast working their way a little further forward. And again, trying to spot out anyone out of place.
And with Globochem, it's kind of interesting to note these 2 guys always roll together. And that's how they've always worked. They have 2-3, 2-2-1, and when they split, they always split the same. So they have familiarity with how Pants knows how Toast moves, Toast knows how Pants moves, and they can work off each other a lot more effectively.
Yeah, it's a nice little duo to have. Very powerful to that. And on the other side, of course, Mob Squad's still in the lead here. They win this round, they're looking golden. This is perfect for them. They're going to that next map, nice advantage. But contact made on that western cross. It looks like maybe Pants or Toast was trying to make a little bit of a run through, or maybe try and get to a new angle, but you can see the responses coming out pretty quickly. Trying to get to maybe new positions, considering where to go. Smoke goes up, and Mob Squad prepare themselves here.
Yeah, Plot's not liking his position, relocating with the smoke, and now Pant's going to be pushing up very aggressively along this west
So
side.
much real estate. He's got so much ground here. He can just be a real nuisance. He doesn't even have to push much further than this. The players on the eastern side can make the play at the same time, but look how close he is to this. Pants is right up on them. Pupachu is there, though, gets the kill cleanly. Does he get the follow-up? I think he did as well.
Yeah, he managed to grab 2.
That's huge.
Yeah, that was a very strong and fast west approach, and it was happening at the same time. They were converging to shut that down. It totally throws a wrench in Globochem's plan. Now they need to pick Arsenic here. Raf's going to be in trouble. Really nice snapshot, grabs him. Now it's a 2v2. Wow, that trade happened fast.
Yeah, blink and you miss it sort of deal there. Now these 2 remainders for Globochem looking to keep this one together. The other side as well doing just the same thing, but the time limit, of course, against Globochem. They need to get moving. They need to consider what their next move is here and the best approach they can.
This is it for them. They need this map. If they don't get this, Mob Squad have the map and they're going in advantage to Suburbia. They could potentially cap here, but I imagine Globochem isn't thinking cap. They're thinking, let's get these kills, get this win, go to Volk.
And everyone's kind of squatting up here. Everyone's in their kind of duos to a degree. You want to ensure trading effectively if it does come down to that. But with a minute left, they're making the play. Thunder Pilot's working his way forward. Cover being provided by Raphael. He's watching the angles as best he can here. Tablet comes out, keeps in check.
He's checking the code, so maybe he has in his mind he's going to go for the objective. Thunder, if he can get this inside area and get Squigookin, it opens up that objective to a lot of different options.
Fire comes through, Raphael maybe trying to cover the steps, maybe trying to keep some suppressing fire. Thunder Pilot goes in, he gets the kill!
He's inside, he can
Huge
cap
play.
right now.
This is massive. This could be 2. This could be Globochem with a turn. Pupachu has to do something. He plays out, he gets 1. Oh!
There was a team kill!
No!
Thunder Pilot got team killed! He was inside the objective building, capping, and you can see the absolute sadness on Globochem's side, sitting down with his head down, hands on the head. Ugh.
They had it.
That was Globochem's map and a team kill. That's gotta be rough.
I mean...
How do you come back from that?
Do you come back from that? Mentally, that was yours. That was literally the perfect way you could have played that. That was everything you'd wanted.
You had the suppressing fire, you had the pick
Yeah.
you needed, you were inside.
You were there. You were safe.
How could it happen? How could it go like this? Really fantastic plays, though, and a excellent start to this series. I'm very much looking forward to what we get out of Suburbia, because it's going to be anyone's ball game. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, welcome to the the winners' final sort of out here. This is incredible from these two. I don't know what more to say about this one. I need to go outside and get some fresh air. I'm sure the players do as well. But let's head over to the desk, because I'm sure they've got some interesting thoughts on that final, let's say, moment that went down.
We'll all just stare right back at you, I think, Lauren. Thanks very much.
Wow.
Nightfire as well.
I mean, I think first of all, we're just trying to figure out exactly what happened. Like, why
I think
exactly?
we all saw what happened, and we're all actually like, yeah, did we
Gobsmacked.
see what happened? Because this is what happened. I think we've got this one piece to show you right at the end of the game.
Thunder Pilot got it.
Thunder Pilot is in, and he is
Entering the code.
uplinking now. Now, if you don't know this game, you pull out your tablet and you have to type in a code. Not while Raphael shoots you.
Raphael runs around and team kills because he pre-fired thinking
That's
there'd be a
Pupachu dabbing right there. I don't think that was...
No.
I hope that's not after he team killed the guy who was about to win them the cap and the map.
It was so bad. I think that's the thing, is like you were saying that it was a little bit of, you see a body and they're in the shadows, you just immediately fire because you don't want to be taken out.
No.
Turns out to be your teammate who's uploading or uplink
Why
at
hasn't
that
your
point.
teammate told you I'm uploading?
Oh, because the problem
Cover
is that, because when you're getting there, you don't want the enemy to know you're putting the uplink.
So you
if you
don't
say,
make
I'm
the-
here
you don't make
doing the
the call.
uplink, that was within audio range for the enemy to run in and be like, oh,
They
no,
could actually hear you say, I'm
Yeah.
uplinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now-
You pull out a tablet, it's an 8-digit code.
Seven.
7-digit code, and then you have to memorize that, because then when you start typing it in, you can't see the code. So then you've got to type in the right thing. But as soon as you've done it, you get 2 points for the cap.
Yep.
That's the map. When you're 3-2 down, you get that uplink, you win 4-3.
Yeah.
That is not just oh damn it, team kill. That was the map win.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to 3-all. It was in the bag.
Yep. And there was no way he was going to get there before that uplink was happening. He didn't even know he was in there.
Yeah.
Pupachu, who got the last kill there, didn't even know the uplink was happening.
Yeah.
This is what happened prior to something that the Onward community will never forget.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting map here, because Mob Squad,
Pupachu grenading himself.
yeah,
there.
went over like 2-0 in a very, very impressive start, and there were clean victories. I think it was like a 3-0 finish, as in 3 alive for Mob Squad. Dominating Globochem, they get a wonderful KO back, and then they get completely wiped 5-0,
Yep.
and then it happens again, another reverse 5-0
Yeah.
for Globochem. So many, they're just like one-sided victories both sides, and then this was such a close game. There was a lead for Globochem, 4-all, and then it went
There
down
it
to
is.
2 apiece.
I think we can see this again.
The
Thunder
really
Pilot's in there. Thunder Pilot's pulling out the tablet to do the uplink.
He's almost done it there. He's got
Oh,
like
Raphael.
Raphael kills him.
Raphael killed him. Pupachu killed Raphael.
The thing is, that was just that's sad on so many levels, because if they hadn't gone for the uplink, they would have been 2 against 1, and they knew his position. So had they not gone for the uplink, they would have got 1 point, and they would have been on the defense, which would have it would have been easier for them to win. If they got that uplink, which they had, game over. And oh my god! And you know what? Mob Squad showed that they're in this to win this.
Yeah.
They were dominating Globochem for the first half of that, and then Globochem started coming back, and they had it. Globochem had it, and then they didn't.
Yeah, I think as well. I mean, when it was happening, obviously when it was happening on screen for everyone to see, we could hear the players talking, and there was this like triumphant shout almost from Globochem because they realized they won. But I think that was kind of what put maybe Raphael off, and kind of may have just kind of caused him to react in a way that didn't obviously work out in the favor they wanted. But it was in the bag, as we say, and it all fell around them.
There was the crowd build-up. They saw what was happening. Uplink is happening. You could hear the tension. Like you could hear them like starting to show, this is happening. And then of course, But what you have to. So this is something in Onward and in other FPSs as well. If that's a very popular defensive position on that objective. Yeah. So obviously Raphael did not realize Thunderpilot had already cleared it out, and obviously didn't realize Thunderpilot was there. So he came round. And he's expecting an enemy. He's not expecting an ally there. So he's pre-firing. He's not waiting to see who's there. He came round firing as he went in.
Assuming that his teammate lost the one-on-one excursion in that small zone.
Or maybe he just didn't know. Well, I think he didn't realize his teammate had even gone in. That's the main thing. There was no hesitation. He came in firing, thinking that was going to be an enemy in there.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Exactly. And
is that a position where you would expect to find an enemy camping for you?
Every time. Every time. You're right on top of the objective. Nobody can get to you. I'd say 9 times out of 10 there would be a Volk in there. And there was a Volk in there. There was a defender in there, a mob squad guy who Thunderpilot put down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be sickening. And I don't know. I didn't think it got caught on camera, but Raphael, who was the one who got the team kill, just doubled over in
immediately.
Disappointment.
Because I mean, it is everything you don't want that to be. It's not just a team kill. And it's not even just a team kill that hands your enemy the round. It's not even a team kill that hands your enemy the map. It's a team kill of the guy who was winning the map for you.
Yeah.
And instead handed the map to your opposition. That's about as bad as I can imagine it being at a time.
Yeah, I mean it is the absolute 0 to 100 turnaround, isn't it? Everything was completely in your favor. It was done one.
There's no coming back.
For the majority of it as well. For the majority of it, Globochem were on the back foot, as we were saying. The first half,
really good work from Mob Squad.
Yeah, and then it was just kind of like they were just trying to hang in there, and then they had the most important thing they can do to win it out off the back foot.
Yeah.
I would not want to be Raphael now. His teammates will be understanding. They'll be gutted, but they'll be understanding. But Raphael will be so self-admonishing. And God forbid if Globochem go into the loser bracket and get knocked out tomorrow.
Yeah, that's such a tough thing to live with, isn't it? And you're right. The rest of his team will all be around him going, that's right, it could have been any of us. We've all done it.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well, he's not doing, as you were saying, there's always usually someone there. He was doing what in any other situation would be the right thing to do. And it just happened to be such a crucial thing.
Here's the one thing though, like I said before, people use that Morse code thing I was talking about on the comms. Now it's not unusual that when someone's going in to do the code, they just there's some squads they just hammer that. They go on the walkie-talkie. So your teammates hear the click, 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 click. It means somebody on our team is doing the objective. Now, some squads use it, some squads don't use it. Maybe maybe the error was on Thunderpilots. Maybe they do some kind of thing.
Yeah, we can't really. We can't really hear the conversation and the communication that was done there for sure.
One map in the bag. One that's not going to be forgotten very quickly, but there'll be another one along very soon. Don't go anywhere. We are well and truly into our winners bracket final here at the VR League Onward Invitational, brought to you by Intel. Short break, promise. And map 2, we'll see whether we get 3 maps along the way, and we'll see who can shake that off and come back with a win. We are going to Suburbia next, where we've been a couple of times today. Really looking forward to that contest. I'm sure you are as well. We'll bring that to you next here at the Onward Invitational.